masses of students. So, published extensively on less than 102 peer-reviewed articles in international and national journals. 15 of them are books and chapters. Happily married, professor, SC, married, blessed children, grandchildren. I now present the 8th inaugural lecture in the person of Professor Nkiru, Theresa, Meludu, to us. other one is the which is a very dangerous one. Don't go by anybody except sufficient. When you look at the global hunger index, you will see very alarming, and then you know where they are, Asia, Africa. So hunger is the greatest therefore very, very important that do all we can to deal with hunger. And the major way of doing that is following the food and resource security component. See Africa. See what hunger the way we have not food. It's been 702 on to you on that increasing all the time. So inadequate nutrition in the diet are common causes of feeding hunger. So now we are feeding hunger is as a result of nutrients in the food. And it linked with lack of low level of food security, which we talk about availability. Rate in the diet we eat. And so, as population grows, the demand becomes higher. Women and children in families with low income often fail in getting enough vitamin A, iodine, iron, and other essential nutrients. And this limits the development of the children, the development ends. And reducing hunger. Then, looking at the progress made so far, we were looking at 2015 that the Millennium Development Goal will eradicate poverty. And once poverty is eradicated, food will be everywhere. You have food will be eradicated. Then food and nutrition security will be improved. But unfortunately, at that time, they didn't achieve the goal set. And so we say, okay, let's give ourselves another time. 2030, we will have, gotten no poverty. And then zero hunger. So what is happening now? How workable is this? I don't think that this is workable based on the fact that most food we eat are not safe, food are not available, And we have how many years? Just less than 7 years. The only thing that I say was for us to take currently 3 more. And so it will grant us the wisdom for us to be able to achieve in 2030 in Jesus' name. Amen. Your man is not loud enough for 2 very crucial words when we talk about food utilization are safety and nutrition. I'll also come to that. And when we talk about safety, it means that you must know where the source of your eating is coming from, because there are a lot of shady practices. We'll look at them later in food. So you have to ask questions: where is this food coming from? How was it processed? How was it stored? You must have heard that people stored grain, they stored beans, and when people ate, they died. So we need to ask questions. We need to know the kind of facilities we use in storage system. One of my cousins told me that she serves beans, and she said she doesn't like beans. She doesn't eat beans all the time because of the chemical they use in the storage. And so this is a problem, serious problem. Now, the FFO has projected in 2022 that about 25.3 million Nigerians will face acute hunger in June and August. And you see, not knowing that they will remove fuel subsidy, and a lot of issues coming up. And this is higher than the prediction they made in 2022. And so we are in serious problem. And so we must watch it as an individual, as a family, and as a nation. When we look at the food, these are the components of food security that I said before. Availability. How much do we have available to go around the population? Accessibility. When we talk about accessibility, we're also talking about affordability. Do we have enough economic resources for us to be able to have access to food, quality food, adequate food, and then how stable will the food be that we mustn't have to be thinking, we will not have a good night's food because we are thinking about where the next meal will come from. And then utilization. Like I said, utilization has 2 aspects, safe and nutrition. So the safety there is that it must be organically produced, or the use of the regenerative agriculture must come to play so that we know that we're eating safe food. And then the handling, who is processing food, the food we are eating has to be considered. Then the adequacy, for us to say that we are serving good food. The adequacy means that it has to contain all the food nutrients, for us to say we are eating nutritious food. Before now, the nutritionists used to talk about balanced diet. I don't know how many people will talk about balanced diet these days. It's no longer balanced diet, because in talking about balanced diet, it means that a homemaker or a cook must have a scale in the kitchen all the time to be able to measure the quantity of nutrients in each item that he or she is using for you to have a balanced diet. So we devised another way of saying that the food must be adequate. How will the food be adequate? The food you eat must be adequate by the way you prepare it. It must be what? Colorful. Just like what you're seeing here, even though it's not very fast. The food must be colorful, and it's not the type they add coloring. Because I think it's colorful. So should we add coloring to make it colorful? No. Are people not adding colors to food? And we enjoy it, it looks appetizing. It is not healthy. So the food must be colorful, and you can see that we have the red, you have yellow, so this is tomato, maybe pepper, this yellow, and then you have green. So you have all of them, and you know that you're having adequate meal. Am I communicating? Good. And so, with that in mind, you have this food pyramid. And the food pyramid, like when you're young, you're here, you're here, and so it doesn't really matter what you eat, and you begin to eat from here and come down. And then, you know, but when you're getting old, you need to be careful. So you come here. Which one you like to eat more? You begin with exercise. Even as you eat, very important. And you see greens of different types. You can mix 4, 5 to get enough green or all, you know, heavy. You have the fruit, they have the traditional and also the nutrition. So that's the way we should eat it. And so we select them and then make a color. And then green again, falling off, go to green. You know, how many of us can just take the same vegetable and go there? No. The ones which you eat heavily, you know, you see, and all the rest of them, you know, the beef and then milk and on and on. Very as you're getting food. See where water is everywhere. So drink as much as possible. And no wonder the father of medicine said, let your food be thy medicine and medicine thy food. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I hope I'm not trying to say back for you. It's good business because people will stop taking the big standard of medicine. We should eat more of what? Food, good food, you know, leafy vegetables, not anyhow food. And so the problem of not accepting food, the problem of not eating food very well has affected many households. And we see that these children here, they didn't make themselves this way. It's because of lack of knowledge of the parents to be able to take good care of them. And so they are lacking in adequate nutrients. And for children like that, especially children, you know, 5 and below, it manifests. You see, I didn't put where I did some chicken, I didn't want to, I just put this one and some elsewhere. But even though, you know, you can still see that their faces are not looking good. And so they will show these manifestations in how thin they are, you know, very too thin for their height, you know, too thin for their age, and too short for their age. It is not a good one. I said, okay, let me look at what research has done on food insecurity by region. And the issue is here again. Look at view very well, has affected many households. And we see that these children here, they didn't take themselves into it. It's because of lack of knowledge of the parents to be able to take care of them. So they are lacking in adequate nutrients. And for children like that, especially children 5 and below, it manifests. You see, I didn't think whether I did some things. I didn't want to. I was wondering I said, maybe women are neglecting themselves and taking care of the men. So we have to be very careful. So it's the word estimate and it's real. Word trend, sorry, not estimate, and it's real. So, and then in measuring food, household food security, I looked at there are different ways of measuring household food security, but this talks about household food insecurity access scale, and then you will see that after the measurement, what you will get is either that the household is highly food insecure or mild or moderate or severe food insecure. So, and I said, okay, let me leave that at that point. But all we know is that food insecurity is alarming. My research contribution to issue of food security, my research contribution towards ameliorating this challenge is based on my area of specialization, and which are agricultural extension and rural development, home economics, with special area in food and nutrition. Home economics is a multidisciplinary course. The problem with this course is that many people, don't understand what is in the curriculum of this course because of the nomenclature in code. And they said that, just poking, just story, but it's more than that. It's taught across all disciplines, including medicine and pharmacy. And so, entrepreneurship development, organic agriculture, climate issues, gender and generational issues, and latest is the artificial intelligence. This builds my capacity to generate and diffuse information on the adoption of innovation in food and nutrition security. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the first work I published in an international journal was in 1999. We conducted a research on the extent of women's role in food and nutrition security. This research attracted an attention, was published in an American journal, and a professor in Canada sent an email, to me after about 2 years. Please, I saw this research. Were you the one that did it? I said yes. Said, please, can I send the request for reference? I said, go ahead, and then before I knew it, to send, reprints, so many of them that I shared with my research colleagues. And so that pulled me up, gave me more encouragement that if they could read it and feel that it's okay, that I should move on. And then I moved on because it was about food and nutrition security. The need for fish farming, engaging in income generating activity was also considered, and we found out that activity helped women to get increase the protein content of the food in the home, and also generate income that they use in purchasing food at home. I also looked at the food insecurity coping strategies. What are they that these people can use to increase their income and be able to get more money? And then it was discovered that problem of affordability limited most of the people to consume lower quality food. And so they have to be engaged to get more income to be able to consume quality food. I also tried to look at the contributions of women off-farm activities. Are they really doing it? Can they be encouraged to go into off-farm activities so that they'll be able to get more income to be able to take care of their family? And it was a positive, research that many of them do. And those that do, had more income, and they used it to do what? To increase the household food and nutrition security, although they had some challenges of low education and the rest of it. The food insecurity coping strategy. What are they that these people can use to increase their income and be able to get more money? And then provide measuring unit has a significant relationship, but then most importantly is that this result, this research is showing that there are corruptions everywhere. There are corruption in marketing of food, marketing of grains and granules, marketing of politics in the market, corruption, shady practices. What do I mean by that? And why is it very important to food and nutrition techniques? What I mean by that is that if you go to different states, you have different measuring units. For example, in your state, they have different measuring units, and government frowned at it and decided to provide a specific measuring unit and put their logo on it. But what happens when the women buy them, or both women and men, when they buy, they boil hot water, put the container, and then be able to press it, and it shrinks a bit, so that when you are buying, the quantity you are buying is not exactly the quantity that is inside. And so, if you go to market around, you see all these things, especially this one. Sometimes you see them, some are, dents inside, they go up, and then when I go to the market, I'll put my finger to measure. Then I pour and level in another one, see whether it's coming up or down before I could buy something. This is very important. Now, why is important for food and nutrition? It's because the nutritionist will give you an advice, a formula, a quantity to be eating based on your nutritional needs. And then when you get to the market, you're buying something that will look at this shady practice, and then provide solutions to it. He was trying to do something. I saw this, on YouTube. And they will put their logo, state government logo on it, and then they send to the market. So we can tell what will happen in the situation of which the control board to look at. Oyebode and Meludu also look at the effect of social capital on rural household food security in Southwest, talking about availability, affordability, and adequacy. And it was discovered that 65% of the population was in food insecure category. They have the high food insecurity, moderate, and low food insecurity, looking at the percentages. And it was also compared with what they have. What social endowment do they have? Social capital endowment do they have based on the level of food and nutrition they have? And it was discovered that the more the social capital endowment, the higher the level of food and nutrition security. So it's a good one. So it's encouraged. And then Meludu Adeloye investigated the influence of food preferences on rural urban household food security in Southwest. And it was discovered that food preference of the rural and urban households were constrained by food availability. So it is when you see food to eat that you will now begin to talk about preference. If you don't see food to eat, so so that constrains food preference. Food preference. So they eat whatever they have to eat. Other contributions from my research is the conduction of Proximate analysis was conducted with sweet potato. We all know sweet potato. Sweet potato is very perishable, and you don't diversify it enough, and it doesn't last. Sweet potato is supposed to be produced 3 times in a year. But then what happened? So I decided to ferment sweet potato like that, just to be sure that this sweet potato can last for some time. So the way they process garri in the market, I see for sweet potato, and I took it around. People could not believe that it's sweet potato because the more the fermented taste, the more sour the sweet potato. So it will taste like garri. There's one particular garri we call it garri, very fermented. Fermentation of food is very good for the body. So, and I felt that, okay, we can recommend this to the diabetics, so that they can have something to diversify their food. And that was done. And then the reason also being the fact that it has bulk, so it can easily digest, and then will make them to not to have constipation. So this research was sponsored by the University of Ibadan research, Research Grant. This is to boost the food and nutrition security of households. Sensory evaluation was conducted. Using sweet potato to make different drinks. In this particular one, we decided to make it attractive, because by the time you keep it, the color, especially the white flesh sweet potato, not very attractive. So we decided to add zobo. Zobo will increase the color and also increase the nutrient content. And then we saw that it was well acceptable, by people, and we had to promote it. Then another research done in trying to diversify sweet potato, and to be sure that households have enough income and also have enough food to take care of their food and nutrition needs. This research was also sponsored by University of Ibadan Research Grant, and we used pulses, we used grains, we used soybean, we used guinea corn and the rest of them to make burial, just like pap, and it was well accepted. And we found out that the nutrient content increased, and the potato added sugar to the, to the mixture, which means that you don't really need to add sugar to it again. Okay, and so it was promoted because the vitamin A also increased. This research was also sponsored by the University of Ibadan. So the thing about University of Ibadan is when they give you grants and you retire, you're sure of getting another one. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I cannot conclude the issue of food insecurity without mentioning this, because it's inconceivable for one to say that he consumes a wholesome food, meanwhile, the food you are eating is not good, it's not bad, it's full of chemicals. And so I decided to bring that this. So when I go to the market, I see market women to sell the food with cellophane. Cooking with cellophane will deposit some carcinogenic substances to the food. Because it's inconceivable for one to say that he consumes a wholesome food, meanwhile, the food you are eating is not good, it's not bad, it's full of chemicals. And so I decided to bring that when I go to the market, I see, wrap to cover it. So I will say pork, because I like Awka, and Awka is nutritious. So there's a lot of iron. So I say pork, let me see the inside. It's a shady practice, which is not good for her. And then, even in this school, when I go there, I told some of them, don't come to my faculty to sell them. If you want to sell, make it into this form. This is made to spread. This made, this is the type you buy. When I see them roasting maize, do you like on your neck? I said, sometimes they will look very well, but at the middle, they burn to be different. I don't know if there's any difference between this and smoking of cigarettes. We need to answer. So please, from now, because I may not remember it in my recommendation, when you go to the market, anywhere there are things, ask them to leave a little bit of the thing on it and roast. In fact, when we are growing up, we see our grandparents roast and they will leave some of the skin, roast, and when it comes out food. And you sit and have what you need to have. So this is not good enough. And other shady practices they are doing, they use chemicals to preserve food. They use chemicals to ripen food, banana, and they use herbs. In fact, they use omo and bleach to talk to food. The people we eat, some are very white. So I think if I want to eat, I'll smell it. It's not smelling like, I know my fingers will smell what I think, but it has to smell. And so if it's white and it's not smelling like cuckoo, the real cuckoo, please don't go for it because they will have used something to make it whiter. Now, Chancellor, I don't know if people want to eat or stand because I'm sitting for some time. We have to stand. I want to teach us a little song because all what we should be talking about, even though I'm not going to organic agriculture so much today, to be organic food. So we go. Organic is life. Organic is life. Using organic standards. Organic is life. Organic is life. Organic is life. Farming without synthetic. Organic is life. Organic is life. Organic is life. For healthy farmers, organic is life. Organic is life. Organic is life. For healthy. Good. Organic. Organic is life. Organic is life. For healthy environment. Organic is life. Organic is life. Organic is life. That is life.
Organic is
Organic is life. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Organic is life. 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 I call it organic youth summer food. And looking for something to do on that. So this is the youngest, this is 8 years, I bring them and teach them during long vacation on, capturing them young, teaching them young, let them know it on time. I taught them the standard and principles of organic agriculture and of the agricultural practices. I told them that it's not that you're going to read agriculture. You may end up reading medicine, but know the basics. It will help. So that you can plant the vegetables around your house. So they give and they harvested, see where they are putting it, harvesting, and then I give them certificates at the end. These children, I took them to Benin Republic, the fungi farm. I took them to Point of No Return. So they taught so many things and would have gone further if I didn't come here. So then, because of the fact that I'm promoting organic agriculture, these youth are the cattle of restoration youth forum. And so they asked me to donate money for their activity. So I told them, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to donate money, but I'll donate it in terms of t-shirts, and you're going to write organic is life. See, they are showing the back. So organic is life, and they answered, and that's what is showcasing there. Mr. Vice Chancellor, We have conducted a lot of this training for women, those living with HIV/AIDS, and children in the school, in the university, and university students also. This, like the Dr. Keke mentioned, in 2003, a professor approached me and said, how will you engage my children? Because at the end of their three, they are the first to come home. Others will still be in school. And so they will be alone. It's not vacation time. So how will you engage them? So I said, okay, with my team, I will acknowledge somebody here later. He came from the University of Ibadan. So we decided to develop a curriculum for them, teaching them good grooming and so many skill development, just like what we have at People Center. So, and engaged them the first time. There were about 10 of them. And subsequently, the team went around the university and increased. So after the PhD students, by the time others come back, they want to be engaged. And that suffered me so much that I didn't have holidays. So we engaged them and we are raising money for the department. And university appreciated it so much. And it's still ongoing. And all my children went to, so, and then I had to take it to my conference in Australia and show them what I can see, because they asked us to show what we are doing in home economics. The president of the Home Economic Council of Nigeria, the former president, so in that place, I was given this award. The certificate is still at home. When I came to Anambra, I said, okay, let me still continue with what I know how to do. But then I met some challenges. It's like when you're coming, you have to pay money and the rest of it. We train these children without asking them to pay money in your school, and then we give them to Ogo and the rest of it. So we went to Stella Marriage, because we said, come. And we, train them on that, and can see that picture there, training them, so they will not bright enough. So that was where I thought, because I had to write from other schools to give us the invitation to come. So we are still looking for money. So, and then these people is my collaboration with the Inside Anambra State to teach them on nutrition-sensitive agriculture. That is what they are showing here. Different ways of diversifying what they cook, what they eat, to have food and nutrition security. So it goes on like that, different local governments. And still continuing in my research of diversification, I picked sweet potato. I said, what else can I do for sweet potato? I said, okay, let me make sweet potato into plates, like complex. And then in the morning, one can take it, just add milk, if you want add milk, and then you can put banana to it. And that was it. And then also I said, let me make the orange flesh. The one inside is orange. Let me make it into bread. And I added some percentages of wheat to it, and then came out like this. The sweetness in the sweet potato is even enough to give you the sweetness you want. And so that same sweet potato was coated into granules. This is what you have here. It is granules like fufu, made into sweet potato, and make the soup to go with it. I used to have some online training, including the what they call COVID-19 during the strike. I started teaching some young ones, online, and then made a lot of things. And so it's a way of diversifying what we eat. Like I said, it's very perishable, especially this one, the orange flesh. When you boil it, you don't really like it. It's only when you chew it raw, and we mustn't continue to eat it raw, because we can't keep it for a long time. So we must diversify on how to do that. And so I have some other products that I put my hand in. Some of them are not here, and just So this one is the latest. This one comes CO2. This one is tea. This one is coconut and sweet potato. You know, it can start at last. As I told some women, make it for your child. The biscuit, I don't know if there are some factory managers are here. Say when the child is going with coconut and sweet potato, the child is having enough vitamin A and also nutrients in the coconut. Then this one is the ingredient is there is on the part. It calms you. It calms you and it helps to detoxify your system. It's very light. It's like taking in the evening when you want to and just go the morning and so on and so forth. The discussion continues. I will continue to do my best on that. So I said I decided based on this problem to pin down some, issues that are really, causing food and nutrition insecurity. And then, okay. So, and I conceptualized this framework that poverty, difficulty of people on land, will definitely lead to non-availability of food. Farmers are saying they love to go to the farm. They are even afraid of going to the farm, So, we need to keep these things with us. And then, go to the level. We will have high level of food security, shortage of safe food and nutrition, efficiency in micronutrients, and low immunity, diseases, and all the rest of it. And so, when we have bad quality, it also affects the availability, the components, and also make this work. And the research outcome concludes that these factors constitute a great challenge in achieving food and nutrition insecurity. And so it cannot be overemphasized, food and nutrition insecurity. And achieving food and nutrition insecurity is very, very important for sustainable national development. And it can boost other sectors of Nigerian economy. And this calls for the trajectory of food and nutrition security, food and nutrition insecurity, dynamics, and equilibrium. All the issues mentioned in my researches, the conceptual framework, and many other researches are the trajectory of food and nutrition insecurity. The issue of catastrophes, the issue of COVID is still with us, issue of insurgency, and the latest of the anthrax, and so many of us will have read it, another disease outcome, So we need to do something to help us to be able to maintain stability of food, availability of food, and for us to eat good food. Food system must be sustainable to avoid food vulnerability during insurgency. Labor was scarce during the COVID and the rest of it, so it became a very rich factor for people to be able to eat nutritious food. Another estimation, a global estimation for a healthy diet in Nigeria. In 2017, it's $3. That's what a Nigerian should be eating every day, an individual per day, to have nutritious food. And in 2020, it increased. This is about 91,724. An individual must have to be able to have what? Food security. To have adequate food. How much is the minimum wage? So I thought it had increased to 40. So I was even saying, so if it's 30, what will happen? That means that what we are seeing will be able to have what? Food security. To have adequate food. How much is the so I thought it had increased to 40. So I was even saying, so if it's 30, what will happen? That means that what we are seeing will be able to have what? Food security.
How are you, madam? How are you today? Well done. Thank you.
Very
well done.
Seriously. Thank you.
How are you? Thank you.
So the insurgency is continued and is with us. So what can we do?
How are you doing? Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Well done.
I was almost fainting. So the insecurity continues, insurgency continues, the insecurity continues, and so we have to strike a balance, the dynamics in the transformation of the project. There is need to implement initiatives to tackle the trajectories of food and nutrition insecurity by increasing food production. So the insecurity continues, and so we have to strike a balance, the dynamics in the transformation of the project. There is need to implement initiatives to tackle the trajectories of food and nutrition insecurity by increasing or it's just about seeking and collecting money. Needs to be considered in the equilibrium. There is increase in years of education, access to ownership, access to credit, and collecting money. So these are the factors that we also consider with along other options for us to have food security. Education, access to ownership, access to credit. So phenomenon. The trajectory is a phenomenon and is a serious one that we need to look at. And all the external factors, the relationships between them for us to have a good system to maintain in our environment, for us to have an equilibrium. This concept fascinated me to determine the equilibrium of the dynamic to the solution of the food and nutrition insecurity trajectory. The crucial points were all confronting forces and priorities in food and nutrition insecurity are well adjusted. The government policies, the program set aside, there is the need to change the trajectories. It is very important. It is very crucial. It is necessary to rebuild food and nutrition security. On lasting basis by investing in an urgently needed dynamism, that is transformation towards equitable, inclusive, and sustainable food systems. The equilibrium will lead to transformation that will have impact to the community. They will synergize those that are in these the stakeholders that are required to work to be able to have a stable food. Indigenous knowledge, indigenous groups do not just rely on their own knowledge. There is need for adjustment. There is need for improvement. There is need for the use of innovation. And artificial intelligence, which can shape how food is governed, is the key. Artificial intelligence is just automated machine that works like human beings. And if you have this artificial intelligence, it is enough for us to fight insecurity in this country. So many countries have it, you know, checking the temperature of the animals in its farm. It showed us how they are faring. This one has fever, this one is running this type of disease or the other. And so he will be there and determine the kind of medication or whatever attention that animal needs and be able to give it to the animal or call a veterinary doctor. We need all this for us to be able to fight the issue of food security. All stakeholders must, synergize, work together. There is a bright future, and that is why I asked the question: can artificial intelligence equalize the dynamic for the equilibrium? It is possible because of the kind of data it generates. As human beings operate it, work with it, it generates a lot of data which we human beings cannot store, and it's stored and it's interpreted for all cases. And quickly at that, on the spot assessment, and then you get what you need for you to be able to take care of the situation. It generates a lot of data which we human beings cannot store, and it's stored and it's interpreted for all cases. Decision makers can then use to identify where crop growth can be more successful. They determine the kind of pests in the field and how to take care of them, and assist in enriching the farming system and improve a lot of food. They are used in sorting out food. They are used in providing nutritious guidelines, especially as it regards to certain foodstuffs, At least in enriching the looking outward, many countries have drones. They have, different IT, machines that they use in doing this. It's workable in Nigeria. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the issue surrounding food and nutrition insecurity seems surmountable with the use of artificial intelligence. Unfortunately, the viable measures of the food security components, such as availability, affordability, accessibility, safety, adequacy, utilization, and stability, are not explicitly interpreted and emphasized among consumers. This is very, very important. The significance of the discovery of the chronic factors of the food security and the trajectory of food and nutrition insecurity determine the dynamism for a solution through equilibrium in the dynamics for the sustainable food and nutrition security. The most outstanding one is the one we have talked about, the artificial intelligence, which will form the equilibrium. Therefore, the use of AI is highly conceivable in order to address the consequences and to be on a sustainable trajectory for food and nutrition security within the country. Recommendations. There are a lot of recommendations made. I also carried out a little research when I was asked to present this inaugural lecture on, and I got different answers. Consider. One important thing is to establish a center for food and nutrition security in Unizik and develop e-curriculum in food and nutrition security, training on artificial intelligence in agriculture and nutrition and other areas is very important. Adequate energy supply in the country is the problem we have. You know, there are places that do not have light at all. Even this university is becoming so alarming. It's a problem, it's the national issue. And then it will affect the use of I. And so it has to be done. The problem we have, again, that is causing this problem of food insecurity as regards to what is happening in the country now is that no palliative was given before the announcement of subsidy, none at all. And in developed world, you have food stamps, you know, where the IT itself will determine the level of poverty among people, the people that are really in need of food stamps, and they will be giving food stamps. So, the one I want to mention here is mentorship. This mentorship is germane in the university to enhance the development of the younger faculty. In manual approach, relationship in research teams, increase in research turnout. Acknowledgement. God is faithful, merciful, is so great. He has done so much, and I give him all the glory. Blessed be his holy name. I have served the University of Ibadan for decades, and coming here is like homecoming to me. But at the same time, there are challenges, but then God is always on the throne. So I feel happy and here. I came home at home. So because gratitude goes to the University of Ibadan, Professor Nkiru, and my PhD professor. This is the one of professor sharing of this lecturer, you know. So I learned a lot from her. Home management, real home management, husband management, and the rest of it. So I want to recognize somebody that sent from the University of Ibadan to bring some gifts to me. This lady came to the unit to have masters. I encourage her. She got her masters, I encourage her. She got her PhD. So, thank you for coming to represent the whole Bucharest female dean, Professor Lucy Muba. Thank you for coming. And all the other professors here, my dean, I cannot forget you. You are here. Welcome. Thank you for supporting me. My HOD and the rest. I want to sincerely appreciate Professor Abraham. Professor Abraham was once a dean of the faculty. He became the president of Association of Deans of Nigerian Universities, Deans of Agriculture. Also, he's now the BOT chair of the Association of Agricultural Deans in Nigeria. Thank you very much, my former HOD. Thank you. Thank you. And all the coming HOD now, time is up. So I Professor remember here, thank you for coming, for your encouragement. The former dean is also here, Professor Ige. The Professor Mba, the former president of Economic Council Association, we are schoolmates in Abraka. You know, we're always struggling who will be the first. When I'm the first, to the second. When I'm the second, to the first. So, Mba, please, can you stand up for recognition? Thank you for coming. You came all the way from Abo. I want to appreciate my other friends, other professors from different universities, doctors, they are, you know. So, Faculty of Agriculture, both teaching and not teaching, I salute you. I can see your face very bad, that's calling you, you know, time will be going. And then my parents of the blessed memory. My father made sure that I became a teacher, even though he said, once you finish your NCE, that's all, you're already a principal. You know, and then one of my uncles came in and said, no, you go ahead, you move. So I was just moving, I'm moving, you know. But architect, my uncle architect, Awagu and commercial visit Awagu. They were so good, they paid my school for 3 years. I appreciate them to finish my education. Then I have brothers and brothers-in-law. Many of them are not here. They send their well wishes to me. But I have my sister. Yeah, my senior sister is here, Dr. Amulora, Dr. Patricia Amulora, from College of Education in Cuba. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. We are representing all that. Then my nieces and nephews, you know, what I went through this was hectic, you know, was hectic. But I thank God that today we have done it. So in the process, my nephews, nieces, they gave me something to produce a jotter. And so by the time I sent to the man producing the jotter, I didn't know what happened. I was also not steady. You know, people like grand and great grandchildren of Honora. It's just those great and grandchildren. Even though I have grandkids, but nobody is praying for me. So I said, okay, don't worry. And 11. So they are so good, they are doing well. And then my children, these guys are wonderful because I neglected them. When I was this one told me that I go about working, and then I said, yes, or ask for a workshop, or I lost my job. So please allow me to do some work. And so I thank God the Monday Sometimes my husband will leave Nnamdi Azikiwe to come and stay with them, while I go and come back. Then this one is just there to very last. Then this one, the husband, and this one is the first. Something remarkable. When I came back from my graduation ceremony, for my PhD, I worked actually, so mommy, I'm going to work. It means I'm going to do a PhD. Said, yes. At least as was then. And today, hold on. I give God all the glory. And so it's been God and God all the two. And this guy here, I follow the money of my case. Apart from that, when I was talking to somebody yesterday, the person reminded me that, remember that he was in your seminar, master seminar. That time I was like this. When I was presenting my seminar, one of the lecturers, nothing wrong that time, was just putting questions. I was sweating and answering. And he said, excuse me, did you answer this? So much. I don't like to complain so much to him, because if you are fighting me, and I tell you, you are in trouble. So certain things I don't like telling you. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It has been so wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, I think anything that has a beginning, we also have an end. And so this is the end of my story so far. Thank you very much.
Let's maybe rise to appreciate her. We say congratulations to her. You may be seated, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This German distinguished scholar get to it. Yeah, brother. Committee, Professor Richard, you are going to come forward to invite the chairman and the vice chancellor of our great university for the decoration of the 85th inaugural lecture.
Thank you very much.
Let's maybe rise to appreciate her. We say congratulations to her. You may be seated, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This German distinguished scholar get to this. Yeah, brother.
Lecture committee, I kindly request you, sir, in the presence of this audience and our vast viewers, to recognize her as such and enter her in the register of those who have delivered inaugural lectures. This is happening.
for the decoration
of the Senate, on behalf of the Council, and on behalf of the congregation of our great university, Nnamdi Azikiwe University. It is my honor and singular pleasure to formally accept and induct Professor Theresa Nkiru Meludu as the executive inaugural lecturer of our great university.
Please, another round of applause for her. We will take some photographs here, then after the program, other photographs will be outside the auditorium.
And the entire in the register of those who have delivered the enough collectors. This is
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Please, may we set the inaugural cake immediately so that we take that immediately after the announcement. Mr. Chairman, sir. Meludu, University, Awka. Take the cake after the formal closure, please. Thank you. Kindly permit me to recognize the presence of Professor Lucy Moba, the second substantive dean of the Faculty of Agriculture. The third, but I have the second here, the third. Another round of applause for her, please. Thank you, Prof. We also have Professor Mabane, great engineer, we salute you. Immediate part B, we salute you. We welcome Professor Nnamdi, former dean. We salute you. Immediately, so that we take that immediately after the announcement. Welcome you. We also have in our midst Professor Nkiru, a member of the University Council. We welcome you. Professor Tony Abalo, you are welcome. Professor Jadamane Bo, the History Political Science. We salute you. We welcome the University Board staff, Rosie Guatu. The Dean Faculty of Education, we welcome you, Professor Vivian Mogo. I may also formally recognize from my own end the most, in fact, the new chassis dean of the Faculty of Hygiene, Professor Kadelia. We salute you and we say big congratulations to you for that position. It is not easy. Professor Rizaba Musi, we welcome you, Professor Umeba and Professor Tony Ibe, all the way from Puto. Tony Ibe, we salute you. You are welcome. We also salute Dr. Tiazo Anyatebelo, and of course our own dear venerable engineer John Anyatebelo. Tiazo is from the Medical Services Department of our university, of course the Chief Medical Officer. We welcome you. Hello, you are welcome, Professor Jadamane Bo, the History Political Science. We salute you. We welcome the University Board staff for the Guatu. The Dean Faculty of Education, we welcome you, Professor Vivian Mogo. I may also formally recognize from my own end the move, because the move that is being of the faculty of Professor Theresa. I would say big congratulations to you for that position.
No, thank you so much. I didn't expect it so much. I'm so happy that you're here. And you know, that people have that. That's good. Thank you so much.
Now, right there, kid is so to now. So we thank you, Professor Meludu. Without wasting much of our time, may I humbly invite Professor Theresa and please come forward for the vote of time.
For one time. Thank you so much. I really expect so much. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much.
Right there, kid is so to now. So we thank you, Professor Meludu.
Of course, no.
Masquerade, big masquerade, the Vice Chancellor,
No.
Professor Carl. Okay,
Yeah, I don't say
FAS.
somehow refreshment.
Thank you so much, sir,
But on and
for
flag
having
involved.
consistently promoted and elevated this event. We also thank the Deputy Vice Chancellor, admin, Professor Joseph Ikechukwu. We thank the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Odibo, Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, Professor Odibo, for finding time to be with us. You are the people that make this possible. We thank all the council members here present. We are not forgetting our grandfather, Professor Emeritus, the Emeritus Professor, Professor Prof, here present. We thank all the academic and non-academic staff that are here present. We thank you so much for coming to support your own. I don't my friend, but you know who we are. We thank you so much for being such a liberal outcome. You made it possible in your own way. And then, lastly, but the most, we thank the Almighty God for being here with us. He was here. That is why things went the way they did. Thank you, everybody, both small and big. We thank God, we thank the heavens, we thank human beings, and we thank all various homes
We pray that the good Lord, as we do not leave His presence at any point. Thank you.
Please round of applause for her. Prof, thank you very much. Please may I remind us that the next event, which is the fourth Unizik Jubilee Academic Lecture, will come up on the 6th of July here in this auditorium. So you are all welcome. It's going to be delivered by Professor Joseph Adema. So we take the closing prayer now. I invite Dr. to lead us. Please go ahead. Here and the university, and then we now cut the inaugural cake. We lift your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. We lift your name. Shout hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Women only shout hallelujah. 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 Men only shout hallelujah. 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 Shout hallelujah. 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 Father, we want to thank you, Lord. Thank you for the privilege to have to stand before you today. Thank you for this great vision. Thank you for the university management. I deemed it fit to continue with this line. Thank you as well for the novel lecture, the family. Thank you for everyone present here. Thank you for what you taught us today and what we learned and the decision that we have reached as individuals, even as a university. The grace implemented, give to us in Jesus' name. Amen. Lord, even as you brought us here safely, we pray you take us back safely. Our very destination within the state and outside the state in Jesus' name. Amen. All that is needed for us to come back here, studying Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor, everyone present here, all that we need, the good health, the peace, the joy, Jesus' name. Cover the low, the east, the west, south, middle, and the blood of Jesus. Pray with peace in this land, peace within this mission, and peaceful
Never.
Chiamaka. George Amaka. George Amaka.